communism. So understanding what what liberty is, as per defined within Federalist Papers, Declaration of Independence, Constitution, is your responsibility. It's our responsibility as Americans. It's also our responsibility to understand what communism, the basic tenets of it. You can listen to a free audiobook on YouTube of the Communist Manifesto. It takes you 2 hours. You don't have to do it all in one day. It's your obligation as an American to understand these ideas. And this song, I picked it because I just love it, and it's about laying down your burdens before this good guy. Okay, I just got his flag. Laying down your burdens before God, and if you don't have a faith in God, then laying down your burdens of just beating yourself up for your mistakes, because we have all had those. But this song specifically is about laying down those burdens before God, because He's well able to forgive and take those burdens on. Father, open up my eyes so I might truly see everything you've done for me. Lord, I'm tired and I'm torn. My face is to the floor. Break these chains and set me free. Lord, I want to be washed clean. Don't you know I want to be washed clean? Father, take away my pride. Just set it all aside. I might hear what you have to say. Lord, I'm tired of all my guilt. I'm tired of all my shame. Break these chains and set me free. Lord, I want to be washed clean. Don't you know I want to be washed clean? 'Cause I've been living a lie that I just couldn't see, holding on to things that I just didn't need. You took these hands and washed them clean. Oh, like a blind man lost in the middle of the night, you came down and opened my eyes. And I will never be the same. Oh, that's what Yeshua, Jesus, did for me. So now I've opened up my eyes and swallowed all my pride. Finally let you lead the way, and I fall down on my knees. I'm just a brother of your grace, and I will never be the same. Lord, I want to be washed clean. Don't you know I want to be washed clean? Lord, I want to be washed clean. Don't you know I want to be washed clean? Praise God. Amen, man. That song just speaks to me a lot because I feel like America, we're just burdened by so much guilt. Some of it because of a lot of nonsense ideas about how bad we've been. Um, for a lot of things that nobody alive today was even around, for one, and it's just overstated. The evils of America are overstated, and the good things about America are understated. And then I feel like, as men in particular, we have made a lot of mistakes, and we do carry a lot of guilt and shame, and we do need to lay that down. And a lot of that guilt and shame in those mistakes is because culture has carried us in a certain direction that's self-destructive to ourselves and to other people. Two, because we all have a sin nature. We all have something, part of our heart is dark, like Proverbs said, or actually Jeremiah, the heart is wicked above all things. Who can know it? Above all things, it's wicked. So we do things we don't even know what we're doing half the time. And then it turns around and causes a lot of guilt and shame. So the only reason to deal with that is to have a God-filtered conscience, which is also the Holy Spirit. We have to ask God to help us see what's wrong with us, because we can't even see that. It's a pretty interesting thing, and that's part of laying down your burdens. Anyways, I don't know how many. You want me to do one or two more? Or? Yeah. Okay. Sing it if you know it. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Oh my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Somebody's got to know the song. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Oh my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. You're rich in love and you're slow to anger. Your name is great and your heart is kind. For all your goodness I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, how my soul, oh my soul, worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come, still my soul will sing your praise unending. 10,000 Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name. Yes, Lord, I'll worship your holy name.
Yeah. Can I turn my voice up a little bit? This mic. This is cut. I don't know if it's worth it.
It sounds good on this side, but
yeah, what? Close that off. Oh shoot! Nobody has. You don't have a Keiko, do you? Couldn't find me that Keiko.
Moose. They're against my religion.
Oh, we got a real guitar player out there.
I'm not a real guitar player. This guy sounds like he's a real one. I just sing loud enough so people can't hear the guitar. Is my trick. You're gonna have to play lead with me next time.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
I'm down.
let's do it. All right, well I'll do one more and then let the speakers come up. Oh, we got another one. It's getting big now. She didn't know it was a men's meeting, evidently. She didn't get the memo. Oh, she's... That's all right. She can stay. Honestly, I feel like we need more men's meetings. Like what happened to the Elks clubs and the...
Well,
all these other... Not that we have to resurrect those, but probably start our own. Sadness from wherever you've been. Come broken hearted, let rescue begin. There it is. Come find your mercy. The sinner come near. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Taken over by the band up here. So lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your faith. Oh, wanderer, come home. You're not too far. Lay down your hurt, lay down your heart. Come as you
hope for the hopeless and all those who stray can sit at the table, can taste of the grace. There's rest for the weary, rest that endures. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can cure. Lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your faith. How wanderer, come home. You're not too far. Lay down your hurt, lay down your heart. Come as you are, come as you are. Fall in His arms. Come as you are. There's joy for the morning. No sinner, be still. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your faith. How wanderer, come home. You're not too far. Lay down your hurt, lay down your heart. Come as you are, come as you are. Fall in His arms. Come as you are. There's joy in the morning. No sinner, be still. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can't heal. Lay down your burdens, lay down your shame. All who are broken, lift up your faith. Oh, wanderer, come
I wonder if you take,
I'm sorry?
You're
you take
not
electronic
too
kind
far.
of payment. I don't have any.
Lay
You
down
can.
your
What
hurt.
do you use?
Lay down
Like I can do
your
PayPal
heart.
if you go to my PayPal.
Come
Venmo.
as you are.
Yeah, if you go to paypal.me/Swan Solo, you can totally just send me whatever there.
Do you use Venmo?
I don't have Venmo, no.
It's actually really it's just PayPal.
I gotta get going though.
Oh,
Let me know if you need it. I'll try to.
Speaker?
We'll keep.
Oh, we got another
Yeah.
music. Oh man, you should have came up here. You had a guitar. It's all good, man. Should have. Wait, by the way, Brian. Brian, great job. Thanks, brother. Good to meet you. Your guitar's that's okay. Yeah, that's perfect. It's totally my deal that whole 80-30.
I'll tell you what, I'm really thankful for each of you that showed up for this. For the time and the energy that went into this, I would do it all over again if only but for you guys that showed up. So this is awesome. And I tell you what, one of the things that I think can be said about Tiananmen Square can be seen in how the Tiananmen movement kind of got on its feet, if you will. In May of 1989, students from different universities in Beijing, there was 4 different universities, and they were all kind of working together, and they all had 4 separate marches, and they converged on Tiananmen Square one afternoon. And so what you have here is you have these people working together. That's what gave, to a degree, Tiananmen Square such effect. It was the people of Beijing, the youth of Beijing, coming together, working together, having no doubt community, having no doubt the ability to communicate, right? To get together. No doubt they were meeting in people's homes. No doubt they were talking in the cafes that they would meet in and on campus, right? This didn't just happen as a matter of accident. It happened out of the networking, for lack of whatever else to call it, right? The communicating with each other, networking with each other, right? Talking to each other, coming together on shared beliefs and having enough feeling to act on it. A lot of people will sit around and talk about stuff, but when, at the end of the day, no one wants to do anything. People will talk, but they won't act. And I think there comes a point where liberty and freedom will come at a price. We understand, like, as Christians, that no doubt our freedom came at a price, right? In Isaiah, when it says that he, and Jesus quotes out of Isaiah when he begins his ministry, right? When he comes out of the desert, right? After fasting, right? And he begins his ministry. He starts out by opening the book of Isaiah, and he says, I have come to set the captives free. Right? This is his sentiment. This is what he's about. He has come to heal the brokenhearted, right? To open the eyes of the blind, to loose us from the prison house. And so this liberty of the individual, because no doubt Christ died for each and individually one of us, right? If it was only for one person, he would have died for us, for that one person. He came to lay down his life, not for some collective giant group, but for the individual, to save the individual person, right? To raise up us as individual people and to bring out the best of us as individuals. The talents and the abilities and the concerns and the cares of us as people. The things that matter to us. Do you not notice that as Christians, we are not carbon copies of one another, right? We are not cookie cutter carbon copies of one another, right? One of the things that it's interesting in Christianity is such a diversity of music, is there not? Right? You ever wonder why? You ever wonder why there's so much diversity of expression in Christianity? But needless to say, these kids put it on the line. They didn't know that the military would come in and kill them. But they all had an expectation that there would be a crackdown, because there had been smaller movements before in the 1980s, and the government cracked down on it. They knew the government would come and crack down. They knew they would get arrested. They knew they would get tear gassed and sent packing. Anyway.
Good, dude. We're rapping. Go on! Amen!
So, we got an awesome brother here who's going to play us some jams.
I think this is rolling right, or no, here. So that's my sound check. It's playing. Go for it. Let's see. Have to move this back here.
You guys can feel free to stand wherever you like, sit. Do a little jig. Don't be afraid to pump that sucker Mic is actually good. I see more track.
shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, or in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons of things to be seen. Good afternoon, Gresham. Outstretched up hardship. We'll take our place, prepared before all things, right beside our beloved. Come stand beside me, brothers. Come rush beside me, sisters. We'll ride these waves through thick and thin and overcome it all together. On the ground, an open ocean, anchors weigh, clenched fisted, holding fast to the strongest of conviction. No one can avoid him now. Ironclad, he'll picked up on the same hero. The light of ageless sages, chivalry pulsates and on the dash. Rendering obsolete any room to question. These countless knuckles gripping onto our lungs now, fitted through a room to win. I'm so glad there's no account for things we never have to say we're friends. Oh, I'm so glad there's no account for things we never get you onto the
made it. After all this time, they know we made it. They took it from them. They took it. We're gonna take it back. Yeah! Because it is ours. Woo! It belongs to us. We, the children of the Father, from whom all blessings flow. The source of all life and truth and beauty and goodness. That's where it comes from. They pretend like he's not there, that he's not in you, that he's not in me. That's all I say. Everywhere, everywhere. The light that comes down, the sunshine that comes down and rests in the green of the trees. The rain that comes down and nourishes the roots of the soil. He is all in all, toward all, the good God Father. The good God Father, not the bad one. This world talks a lot about power. Sorry I'm screaming at you guys. I don't mean to scream at you. I just get screamy about these things. Good God Father is all, in all, through all, toward all. All things are moving in one direction. This is the judgment. That they loved the darkness rather than the light. People are concerned about the judgment. This is the judgment. They loved the darkness rather than the light. Let me put that another way. They loved ignorance. They loved to fool themselves about who they are. They loved to fool us about who we are in relationship to them. They fooled themselves into thinking they've got some higher place as gods above human men and women and whatever identity you identify with. But there's all one identity. There's neither Jew nor Gentile. There is neither male nor female. We are all one person. There is one individual you. And it is the one individual from whom all things come from, and toward whom all things are moving. Tiananmen Square. This is a mirror to those people who took from their brothers, who took from their sisters, because they loved the darkness, they loved their ignorance, more than the light, the knowledge of the truth of the one person whom we all are, who we all share. Jesus is coming on a weapon far from your out to his eyes are wild and the reason fire. The devil reaches out for another soul's death. Well, his head is burning from the Little creature walking down all lying out in the street. Can you smell it? Little creature, show your glory in the ditch on the side of the road where the bodies lay sleeping. Baptismal fountain. Good God, Father is all in all. I am Swan. Sign up on my email. They will tell me my name. Their faces won't see you. They're looking out for me. Keep me under fresh water. Under the fire, don't you know me? me short, don't you worry, don't sell me short, don't you worry, don't sell me short, don't you worry, don't sell me short.
bless you. God bless America. God bless the people of Tiananmen Square. May God have mercy on us. May God liberate us from our oppressors. In the name of the Lord, who is, who shall be. Amen.
Best reading of the Constitution I've ever heard.
Right.
I would like to thank Sean for being loud. It seems somewhat necessary.
I'm glad you let me be loud. That was cathartic.
So, we got a brother somewhere around here that's going to do a little bit of rap for us. I'm not sure if we want to, but I'm going to give a little synopsis of what Tiananmen Square was about. So, in 1989, there was a burgeoning democracy movement in amongst the youth of Beijing, particularly, but other big cities in China. And there had been some things that had led up to this, a little bit of opening up, if you will, of the culture from the iron grip of communism. And it gave people a certain sense that they might have a voice. Needless to say, the Tiananmen Square democracy protesters had what we would call demands, but they called them 7 points. And basically, the 7 points were that number one, they wanted to be taken seriously because the media and the government was trying to villainize them and say that they're just a bunch of rebel rousers. Right? And so they were like, no, we're not here to act as... Let me unplug it. Their whole incentive was not to riot, to break windows, to march around Beijing, causing a bunch of problems, right? And so they wanted to be taken seriously. And their 7 points were as such, that they wanted to be taken seriously, that they wanted to have, they wanted freedom of the press. They wanted to be able to have things printed without the government just coming in and censoring it and shutting it down. They wanted to be able to present things in the media and on the news without the government coming in and shutting things down. So this is one of their other issues. And they wanted to have more access to government. They were not trying to overthrow. They were not asking for the government to be overthrown. They were asking for some reform. They were asking for some access, that the people might have the opportunity to vote and have some representation. This is basically where they were coming from. It doesn't sound that revolutionary, does it? It doesn't sound like the kind of thing that the government would send in the military to have to quash and step on. But that's exactly what happened. The government did send in the military June 4th. And they went in with high caliber ammunition and they just started mopping it up. The original estimates, or the original statement, the official statement was that 41 people died. That's what the Chinese Communist Party tried to say, 41 people died. So, that of course wasn't true. And they looked into it a little bit further. It seemed there was a little bit more blood on the ground than 41 people, so they kind of admitted, well, maybe it was like 200 people. 200 people died. But the number kept growing. Finally, the Red Cross in China came up with the kind of official estimate, which is 2,700 people. I'll tell you what, the number is actually higher, but think of it for a moment. That here we are today in Gresham, Oregon, in the Kmart parking lot, trying to memorialize the murder of these people 32 years ago. Imagine, if you will, that if the United States had killed 2,700 university students who were protesting for democracy. Can you imagine? There would be memorials all over the country today. There would be memorials all over the world. There would be monuments set up in remembrance. There would be artwork. There would be exhibits. People would be talking about this. This wouldn't go away. But the Chinese Communist Party wants this to go away. If you look it up online, Wikipedia calls it the Tiananmen Square incident. But I tell you what, killing 2,700 people is actually genocide. If you look up what the definition of genocide is, it easily falls under the definition of genocide. But it's a strange thing that here we are today, a few of us out here remembering what went down 32 years ago in Tiananmen Square on these kids that wanted liberty. They wanted more freedom in their culture. They wanted the opportunity to live and be more as individuals and less compartmentalized by the authoritarian government that would decide what people they could be. So in 2007, there was a White House file that was declassified. And this White House file stated that 10,454 people had been killed in Tiananmen Square. And the source was some government files that the CIA had acquired from China somehow. And it had been declassified. And it stands to reason that our government knew from the very beginning that at least 10,000 people had been killed that day in the square. So, if you don't believe what the CIA has to say, I don't blame you. And if you don't necessarily believe what comes out of the White House at any given moment, I don't blame you either. But I tell you what, in 2017, there was a cable, which is like a fax. It was a declassified cable from the then, what was in 1989, the British ambassador to China. I forget the guy's name, but he was in China in 1989. He was the British ambassador in 1989, and he wired back to Great Britain and said, man, they killed at least 10,000 people. And that was kept on the books all these years. In 2017, it was declassified. So, like I said, if you don't necessarily take to heart what the CIA, what they had to say about it, we have two witnesses, if you will, that the number is 3 times the 2,700 that they admit to. So the point really is that that this is an infringement on the people, is it not? Because why, you got to wonder, did they find it necessary to kill all these people in the square, to kill their own people? Why did they find it necessary to go in so hot and so heavy and to shut that down with high caliber weapons? They brought in tanks, for crying out loud.
Was that the guy that was standing in front of the tank?
No, but actually the Tank Man, which is sort of the famous picture, that actually happened today, June 5th. Tiananmen Square was June 4th. Tank Man was the following day. So it really gives credence to how the boldness of this dude to stand in front of those tanks the day after the crackdown, right? I mean, this guy, he must have been, I don't know, man. He just, it's a pretty intense image of the individual standing up against the authoritarian state, right? But why I think they went in so hot to shut down that event is because they wanted to break the spirit of the people. They wanted to break the heart of the people. It wasn't just about getting kids out of the square. It was about sending a message to the rest of the nation of China, the rest of the people of China, that you will not rise up. You will not have a voice. That was the message. That's why they went in and killed potentially 10,000 people. Because they wanted to shut down the heart. They wanted to shut down the voice. They wanted to shut down the movement. And I tell you what, we as people, we need to come together. And we need to have that voice and that heart that these people intended to have, but was silenced from them. We can't be silenced. We can't be intimidated. We can't be withdrawn any longer. We need to be a people of passion, a people who care about what is right, and who are willing to stand up and speak for what is right. And in closing, let me say this before Aaron comes up here and gives us some raps. Jesus Christ himself was crucified because he said that he was the Son of God. That's the reason given in the book of John. Of course, we know that he was crucified for our sins, no doubt, right? That this was the purpose, that he came, was to go to the cross. But the reason that the authorities had him put to death was because of his speech. There was nothing in the Jewish law that required the death sentence for blasphemy. Right? Now, I don't believe it was blasphemy. You don't believe it was blasphemy. But the point is that it was his speech that got him crucified. And, we as free people need to understand that freedom is a thing that we must stand for. The scripture tells us to be free people. We are encouraged to be free. And freedom is not something that you keep in a closet. Freedom is not something that you hide away in your basement with. To be free people, we must have courage and we must have heart and we must come together, all right? God bless you. Aaron. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for coming out. God bless you all.
Where's DJ? Don't take it to me.
Hey, do you plan on doing any more of these events?
Yep. In fact, I'm gonna be playing at the Oregon City Record Store sometime pretty soon sometime this summer. And then I'm going on a mini tour here in the Northwest. We got X Fest Northwest is up there on in Skamania County in Fairgrounds, and that's coming on. That's Labor Day weekend. Every year Labor Day weekend I do that. This is my 4th year, I think. And but then I'm going on like a mini tour in different spots along the way. I think Tiger might be one of them. I live in Sheridan, if you know where that's at. Yeah.
So, I mean, events like this, like for Patriot Prayer.
Right, yeah, I mean, a lot of the same.
Because they all have music out of music great there.
Right, yeah. I work with my homie David over there, and haven't really broken on the whole American scene, like Patriot Prayer scene stuff at all. Mainly just coordinate with my friend David, but that's the story there.
Yeah, well, it'd be great to see you around some more of these events. So.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone recite the Constitution while they were playing with the great.
Yeah. It just came to me one day because I look at these things with the same kind of reverence, and it's also kind of a play on how maybe some people can even idolize the ideals of the Constitution and everything, but they never really internalize exactly what they're meant to accomplish on a more transcendent spiritual level, And so I really try to draw attention to that. Like, what are we doing? Like, yes, you're right. I agree. liberty is the core of all things. Why? What does that look like? How does that operate? Why is that the case? And so I like to bring into that bring that conversation into things so that we can address like what are the real core root problems in terms of communicating and having an impact, having an effect on others, with that message, right?
Yeah.
And how is it that tyranny can take root in people's hearts? How is it that like what is tyranny really? What is oppression really?
Tiananmen Square is 1989. Here we are in 2000.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and why was that so bad? And people want to point to the whole Americans in all parts of the world and stuff. And like, okay, are they really exactly the same? And are we going to say one is good and one is bad? At the end of the day, judgment does start in the household of God. Judgment does start with the children, and then it goes out to those outside, so I think it's really important for us as individuals, as human beings created in the image and likeness of God, to really address that judgment in ourselves. Where in us are we loving the darkness rather than the light?
What was your name again?
My name's Sean. My nickname is Swan, so you'll hear me call myself Swan a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, but Sean and Good Godfather. If you find me, Good Godfather on all platforms.
Okay. And what was your friend's name? I've seen him
That's
before.
That's David Marston.
That's Dave. I've
Yeah.
seen him at a lot of these Patriot Prayer things before, and various events. They're not
Right.
really-
Yep. Yeah, he's like I like touching base with him because I know he's out there doing that stuff and like being there.
Okay.
And I don't really get out as much. I got little ones at home, so I spend a lot more time at home writing music, recording music and stuff. I do a lot of streaming and stuff. I try to tap into other people's live streams and do that, but it's my deal. What's your name?
Aaron.
Aaron?
Harry.
Harry?
Yeah.
Harry and Aaron?
Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Nice to meet you, Harry. Nice to meet you, Aaron. Yeah. Pleasure.
It'd be great to see at some of these events. So,
Yeah, well, spread the word, Let them know about me. Tell them you saw me.
yeah, be glad to.
You gotta get this guy, man. He shreds. Oh yeah, I remember. Good stuff, huh?
Thanks
We
for,
did it.
We did it.
We nailed it. I'm sorry?
Thanks for your thing. It was good.
Oh yeah, pleasure. Yeah, what's your
I
name?
liked it, Shay.
Shay. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Glad you enjoyed it.
You know, I was sitting on the concrete and I could feel
The music.
Yes, that's what I like, dude. I when you said 100 watts or whatever, I was like, yes, we're gonna make it bump.
We'll have to bust it all out again.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did you sign up on the email list over yonder?
I did not.
If you sign up on the email list, you'll get all my emails that go out.
Sweet. Okay, I'll do that.
Yep.
Thanks.
Well, and then, he goes, he gets
I talked to the dude at Oregon City. He wants to push it out to like August or something like that. So we'll have at least something going, another thing lined up again this
Maybe
summer.
we should just start doing some more music events here in this
We can come right back
until they
here.
kick us out.
Yeah, just keep doing this. I'll come back again next month. Or in 2 weeks, I don't care.
I suggested one-man band fest.
Yeah, one man band. I don't know.
'Cause-
That's all anybody can do anymore. Like it's hard to get a real band together.
Dude, I don't know the
We
word.
can't get together. He's out here. I'm out in Sheridan. Really, the only time I come out is for a solid event that I have lined up.
Dude, these mains pushed your tracks good. I don't.
I could
even,
tell.
I don't know if you could tell from where you were
I
standing.
could.
But I was like, wow, I basically got given
Really?
some other equipment. Yeah, for well, this guy gave me like 8 different speakers for like $100.
Nice.
So it was like I paid $10 for these or something.
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, dude, I was just like, geez, really
Yeah.
performed.
This is it. We a freaking generator, and this is perfect. Like it's, in terms of one man band thing, definitely perfect. I had fun. Extreme tour, yeah.
Our own extreme tour.
That's what, dude. That's what I've been wanting to do. It's extreme tour, just like, but managed by us. We do whatever we want. You know.
Northwest extreme tour. People in my area. Has anybody apologized?
Have they came back and said, you were right?
No, yeah, that's their policy. Don't apologize ever.
Because they're from the West Man's ass.
Exactly. Dude, that's legit. Just moving the van over there and packing up. And we're done hit the road. Get some food.
Need some. Can I have ice cream?
Depends on if I have the budget for it. Probably.
Stop! We're gonna crash, Dad.
Your voice sounded awesome, by the way.
Beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep.
Like I said, we're going to try to